My first take at this was eloquent, but 9 minutes long, so I'm going to try and keep some of the articulate language, but move quite a bit faster. My name is Anthony Angelini. This is my third course in the Masters in Language and Literacy program through Millersville University. I'm eager to work with all of you as we explore a little bit more about how research takes place and impacts our practice in education. My background is that I was born in Chicago, but raised in the elementary years just outside of D.C. in a town called Gaithersburg, and then grew up just north of Pittsburgh, where I graduated from Hampton High School. It was an excellent school with really amazing educators who still serve as role models for me today. Another very powerful experience that shapes my educational philosophies was my time at Camp Crestfield. I spent 7 summers there as a counselor and program director, and not only did that help to sharpen some of the skills I use in the classroom, but it really confirmed that this was the passion I had for my life and what I wanted to do as I grew older. During that time, I also went and graduated to Gettysburg College. It was certainly a unique place to study history and was an incredible experience. I was fortunate enough to find a placement at Gettysburg High School where I student taught. Knowing how competitive positions were at that time outside of Pittsburgh, I decided to stay in the area and really launch my life here. After a few years now in Adams County, I've certainly adjusted to this town and this community and have trouble when I go to visit family back in Pittsburgh or Philadelphia any longer. My current teaching assignment is at Conewago Valley, where I work with 7th graders. It's a powerful moment for the students because our intermediate building serves grades 4 through 6. So 7th grade is their first time on the secondary campus. And I really think that pivot point, as I call it to the students, is a great place for me to have an impact. Hard to believe, but this is my 13th year. I do teach both language arts and social studies to the same 2 sets of students. There's a lot of great chances for interdisciplinary learning and overlap and really in-depth study as a result of that, but it can be a challenge as the only teacher in 2 departments at the building. As the department chair for social studies, I get the chance to learn a little bit more about how curriculum can impact all instruction, not just in my own room, and it makes me be a little bit more intentional about the way our written curriculum is designed. I'm also a part of our supervision committee, the Road to Relevance initiative, which is related to our device rollout, our foundation, the ski club, and several other organizations. Outside of the school, I really build on my passion for education to engage in some other roles as well. I'm the local president for our teachers union, which has given me all sorts of positive and frustrating experiences dealing with some of the real practicalities of our profession. At the state level, I sit on the Council of Instruction and PD, which has been a great chance to see some of the best things happening in our profession. I'm an adjunct instructor at Gettysburg College to one of the introduction courses. The history, the philosophy, the sociology of education that I try and communicate to aspiring educators there are topics that I really try to use to stay grounded in my own teaching as well as in my roles within the district. And though I'm a member of a few different professional organizations, it's the NCSS that I'm the most engaged with, particularly as a member of their awards subcommittee, which has been a great opportunity to see some of the best practices happening all across the country. I've had some noteworthy experiences in education, particularly a summer in Beijing as part of the Fulbright program and testifying at a hearing on how broadband access might impact schools. And when it comes to the John Hattie reflection, certainly my role on the supervision committee made me think of the impact here we get from evaluation and reflection. I thought his quote about how it's more than covering the curriculum that determines who has an impact. I think all of that matters. I've always sort of connected with this graph. There's 180 boxes on this chart. 2 of them are where we're going to get observed. These forms that we fill out and that we're used to be rated don't necessarily give a lot of room for reflection either. I've found that it's the actual process of sitting down and reflecting on our own goals and accomplishments and student outcomes that is what makes the biggest difference.